A woman gasps in horror as she sees a plane crash straight down into the middle of the desert. She jumps into her car and speeds off toward the crash site. But the moment she steps out of the vehicle, she freezes. The ground is covered in drugs. Clearly, this is something she was never meant to see. Before she can even process what's happening, a drug dealer with long hair pulls a gun on her, ready to silence her for good. Thinking fast, the woman bolts back to her car, slams it in reverse, and floors it. But in her panic, she backs straight into a ditch. The tires spin helplessly. It's stuck. The man storms over, gun in hand, yanks her out of the car and aims at her head. Desperate to stay alive, the woman blurts out she can guide him. His equipment was burned up in the crash. Without help, he's as blind as a bat out here. He looks around, nothing but sand and silence. He realizes she's right. Grudgingly, he agrees, but only if she helps him load all the scattered drugs into the car first. On the road, she pleads with him, swearing she didn't see anything, begging him to let her go once they reach the destination. But just then, he glances at her and bam, slams the car into a cactus. They crash into a sand mound and come to a stop. He hops out to check the damage. Meanwhile, the woman spots a small knife that had fallen under the seat. Quietly, she snatches it and hides it in her sock. With the car totaled, he orders her to pack everything into bags. They continue the journey on foot. They walk through the night, miles across the desert. At dawn, the woman collapses, exhausted, begging for a break. After some hesitation, he agrees. But while he steps away to relieve himself, she springs into action, bolting in the opposite direction. He sees her running and gives chase, but with an injured leg, he quickly loses her trail. As he searches in frustration, she ambushes him with a brick, and the two begin a desperate fight. But he overpowers her, slams her down, and ties her hands tight. In this remote, barren land, she has no choice but to obey. Meanwhile, back in town, the motel owner realizes she never returned that night and calls the cops. Police are soon combing the desert for any sign of her. At the same time, a street-level thug named Lacey, one of Longhair's crew, finds the crash site. After searching around, he discovers a wheelchair on the ground. Suspicious, he jumps in his car and follows the tracks. Soon, he finds the abandoned vehicle and the footprints leading away. But as he digs through clues, two punks on motorbikes roll up and offer help. Lacey waves them off, but they clearly mean trouble and head toward the car. They don't notice Lacey drawing his pistol. A few gunshots later, and both punks are dead on the spot. But just as Lacey gets ready to leave, a police patrol, alerted by the gunfire, shows up. Seeing the bodies, the cops fan out to investigate. What they don't know is that Lacey is already lying in wait, ready to strike from the shadows.